Top of the morning to you. This is Tim Lyons coming to you podcast. We're going to call it Uncommon Mornings. You can find it at uncommonfathers.org/podcast. Welcome. We're going to try to go through a quick agenda, get you out of here in 10 minutes. Today, begin with some motivation. You are what you repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. It's from Aristotle. So, we're at the beginning of a year. Obviously, people are starting new goals. They're creating action plans, doing all these things. And so habit is really what excellence is all about. It's the mother of excellence. So, you're not going to go out and just swing that golf club once and be a magical Tiger Woods-like player. You really got to go and put some work into it. And I think that applies in all aspects of your life. So hopefully you are setting down some good habits at the beginning of the year. Today I want to talk to you also about some current events. Something I think you should become educated about is the issue of net neutrality. This is going to be a big deal probably in the next, whatever's being hashed out this year and next few is probably going to affect us for the rest of our lives. But basically there's two sides of the coin. Net neutrality is the concept that they don't want people who provide the internet, like Comcast or Hotwire or AT&T, to be able to prioritize content by limiting the speed of non-prioritized content. So the business side of it, I heard from a consultant, and this guy has consulted with municipalities around the country, large neighborhoods around the country, to put in fiber optic. I guess that's the next big thing. If you're lucky enough to have fiber optic, gosh, it's super fast. But if you don't have fiber optic and you're on cable or DSL, you start to slow down as you get some kids on devices. But he sees it becoming like cable TV. That's his opinion. And be happy if you want to email me, Tim at uncommonfathers.org. I can give you his contact information. You can go talk to him if you'd like. But he sees it like, hey, you get your basic subscription, but if you want your Facebook and your New York Times subscription to go faster, you got to pay a little more money. And I just lump those two together. I don't know what side of the engine you sit on. But, if you want your ESPN content and video to come faster, you're going to have to pay more if you're not on an ESPN-owned pipe, basically. Others see it as it's a democracy of speed issue. They're seeing it from a much darker side, and these are usually the folks that are beating the drum, and they're saying that, like, if I have content that is controversial or in opposition to what the authorities have or the people in power or the companies that want to take my money in exchange for their services, if I have differing content, my content might be slowed down. And in this day and age, if you pop on a video on Facebook and you try to watch it and it's an interesting title, it's compelling, it's got you going, but if it starts to buffer and takes too long to load, well, shoot, you probably won't consume that media. And net neutrality has just stopped you from opening up your mind because somebody else has prioritized the speed of different content. I'm still deciding where I land on this, but if you want a good aspect from the business side and why this isn't, according to this author, why it isn't the devil, CEI, that's Charlie Echo Igloo.org, CEI.org. In their search bar, type net neutrality. There's a great article there on from a business standpoint. And also in today's New York Times, this is January 11th, by the way, New York Times, states push back, an article about how some of the states are taking this on themselves. They're going to start passing laws, so get informed there, because this is probably coming at you if you live in a mildly blue or purple. Senator Ed Markey up north, he has introduced legislation at the federal level to basically undo what the FCC just did this summer and basically make it a federal law, which there's another article that basically poo-poos this idea, saying, hey, it's not going to work. Why waste time? You got a Republican Congress and a Republican president, and they both support this net neutrality rollback. So yet to be determined, but please be informed because it's going to be a big issue this year. And I'd love to hear your opinion. Again, Tim at uncommonfathers.org. You're listening to the Uncommon Morning Podcast. You can find it at uncommonfathers.org/podcast. Today, let's talk about things to make you better. A big thing for me, one thing I attribute to my successful, or what I call peaceful days, is my morning routine. The morning routine is critical to a successful launch of your day. I've got 4 kids, so you can imagine it is like a shuttle launch. But some people think that we seem to have it down to a science and we just kind of gel through life. But it's really a lot of planning went into it and a lot of intentionality. So I encourage you to have a strong morning routine that helps you start well. That's very important. You're the machine. I hope it helps your family start well, because that's what it's all about, right? And just remember to be consistent and realistic. You can't have 100 points on your morning routine. You probably can have about 7. Quick rundown of my morning routine. Wake up at 5:15, do my devotional till about 5:35, lace up the shoes. I'm at the gym by 5:45 to meet my gym partner. Quick 30-minute workout. We're home by 6:20. And usually my wife has woken up by then. She's, gotten her teeth brushed, her outfit on. She's ready for the day. And at that point, one of the things I like to do, I share in the household chores. I think that's an important part of being a good husband, is to share the load, right? It's not a job, it's part of being a member of a house, in my opinion. So I take care of the dishwasher. I load it at night and I unload it in the morning. And not 100% of the time, but I do try probably, I'd say about 90% of the time, and I'm sure if my wife got on here, she'd tell you it's less, but Monday through Friday, that's something I'm trying to do, and I enjoy doing. At this time, 6:30, the kids' alarms goes off, and they start getting up, getting out of bed. They know to get dressed and make their beds every morning as part of our chore chart, and we try to have breakfast. At 7 o'clock, a alarm goes off, reminds them we're about to do devotional, so they better have their shoes on. We do a quick devotional. If you want to see a list of books that are age appropriate, we've gone through a bunch, and we've got a couple for as they get into their teenage years already in the wings. Tim at uncommonfathers.org. This devotional it's a quick Bible verse, quick discussion, maybe 20, 30-second discussion, and then a prayer on that subject. And we try to just do that every day. We're trying to help build into them positive habits of being, communing with God and having that me time, that self-time. Personal finance nugget: cannot stress enough the importance of a plan. Life is going to come at you. You're going to have a health emergency with a big bill. You're going to have a house emergency with a big bill. You're going to have college and weddings and all these types of things. And I just encourage you to stop for a second and think, what the hell am I working for? Why? And something that I developed in my plan is a stop day. So I have determined the day at which I can stop working if I choose. And I am targeting right now my 55th birthday. So based on that plan, everything else rolls back and we work it backwards. And how much do we want to pay for college? How much do we want to pay for weddings and cars and down payments on houses for our kids? Where do we want to live? How do we want to vacation? What kind of cars do we drive as a result of this plan? And it all fits into place. So you'll see me driving around my 2007 Honda Pilot. I call it my motivator. But that's part of my plan, because, driving a nice new car and paying $700 to $800 a month, really not worth it to me. So maybe it's worth it to you, and that's okay. It's your plan. But I encourage you to have that plan, because prior proper planning prevents poor performance positively. Another reason we subscribe to the Dave Ramsey program, and his advice is just because it's a keep it simple, stupid method of 7 baby steps. And hopefully you get to the point where you're past baby step 7 and you're doing really well. You're rocking and rolling, building wealth like crazy. But most Americans, and truly statistics show 78% are within one paycheck of financial ruin. And that's people making $200,000 all the way down to people making $50,000. So no matter how much money you make, it's not what you make, it's how you spend it. I believe that's Andre 3000. So I encourage you to have that plan, put that, emergency fund in place, pay off all that non-mortgage debt. And, start contributing in retirement, decide what you're going to do with college, pay off that mortgage early, give and grow wealthy, man. I think you can find other gurus out there that have a different version of it's pretty much the same type of plan. But, the purpose of the plan was to determine my stop day. And I encourage you to figure that out. It's going to take some time. If you need more help or guidance or information or any kind of, direction on that, tim@uncommonfathers.org. Thanks for listening today. We really appreciate your time. I hope you have a great day. I hope this charged you up and got you fired up. Leave you with a little wisdom. To go fast, go alone. To go far, go together. That's a African proverb. God bless you. See you tomorrow.